Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Reed and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be talking about this book I read called Leviathan Wakes. I, for one, thought this was called Leviathan Wakes until my piano teacher corrected me on that because I didn't know Leviathan was a word. But, reading makes you smarter, apparently. And, sometimes you get that wrong. So, warning guys, this is going to be a very long review compared to my other ones on this channel. I think that's going to be true for most book reviews I do, as opposed to movies or TV. Because like TVs are like this, books are like, like that. So, I don't know. Just a heads up, guys. So, I'm speaking of long. This is the longest book I've read since Harry Potter. Because before this coronavirus, stopped humanity from doing things, I never really had any reason to read. I don't know. I just English class kind of ruined it for me. But coronavirus has run me over on reading books or listening to audiobooks because I have trouble focusing. But that's besides the point. Let's get to the real stuff. First thing is, I like how the novel switches between Holden and Miller. Keeps going Holden Miller, Holden Miller throughout the whole book. I thought that was kind of cool. Even after they meet, we still get to see both of them. First half of the book, they haven't met yet, so we're focusing on two completely different settings. Then when they meet, we still see the same setting now, but from their different perspective and how they view things. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't really see that much. Um, so, why don't, I have nothing but love with this book, so I'm just gonna state a bunch of things I love about it. Let's start with Holden's story. Him and his crew have gone through hell constantly in the first half of this book. Their ship gets blown up, they get rescued, their second ship gets blown up. I've never seen that happen. That sounds terrible. That's like your house blowing up twice. That is so bad. But they will get through it. The ones that are left of his crew, um, which is, that they move through it and they move on. And they soon get pulled into another mission. Um, and that's what another thing I like is how complex the conflict between Earth, Mars, and the belt and the outer belts are. It's really good world building, and I haven't really seen that in a lot of books. Well, wait, you know what? No, that's a lie. I see that in tons of books, but this one doesn't. Really, really good, well developed way, which is pretty cool. Um, the Holden ship itself is comprised of people from Earth, Mars, different planets, and like Alex is from Mars, Holden is from Earth, and they still agree on what they think is right, and they all work as a collective team. They might disagree sometimes, but which is really cool is how they come together. Um, I like the character of Naomi a lot. She's really cool. She's kind of a really strong character. She lets you know what she's thinking at most times. She doesn't really like playing games. I like the reason for not sleeping with Holden at first, because then she'd just be another one of those girls. And then later, it was because she thought, she's the only woman left, so why wouldn't he sleep with her? She didn't want to be one of those girls. So he wanted him to get to know her better, get to respect her before they started sleeping together and falling in love, what happens later in the book. Which is really nice development, for a sci-fi book. You don't really get that deep into relationships that much. And, like Star Trek, Captain Kirk had another girlfriend every week. So this is really different from that. I haven't really read much sci-fi, so that's just from my experience. Um, so on to Miller's storyline in the book. I think I liked his character slightly more than Holden, which sucks, because he died at the end. But I mean, I'm still love Holden. So I'm still gonna keep reading Holden and his crew, Naomi and Alex and Amos are all really nice characters. But on the middle, like I said, my favorite character of the book. He went through a lot of good character development. Um, he how he can he's just old and tired at this point, and he's just been run down from years as a detective. He just feels like nothing in his life has meaning anymore. You know, he had a divorce with his wife, so the only thing he has is a job, but then he loses his job, so he kind of obsesses over Julie Mao. Um, and he starts to see her in his mind, which, I kind of thought, like, wow, this guy's crazy at first. This guy's out of his mind. Um, and then I realized him trying to find her is the only thing left for him. That's his only reason to exist for himself. He's the kind of borderline suicidal at this point. Um, you know, I don't know. So he sees Julie in his mind, which kind of compels him to find her. And then we find out she's dead. But then we find out, you know, so he tries to find revenge after her killer. We meet this, like, terrible scientist who just treats humans like animals. He uses them as, like, some vicious experiment. And Holden's like, we gotta have this guy stand for trial for what he did, because they uncovered it. Him and Miller after they meet. Um, but Miller shoots him. He's like, no, no, that's not right. We can't. It's not gonna be true justice. That's what Holden's thinking. But since Miller shoots him, Miller thinks, well, he's too dangerous to be left alive. And really in his mind, it's what he did to Julie. Um, so that kind of breaks the tail within Holden and Miller. They started off nice to each other, not really trusting each other. They built this relationship over the course of several chapters, and then Miller shooting the scientist kind of breaks that a little bit. Even though Naomi thinks he's right, Naomi thinks Miller's right. I kind of like the little friendship between Naomi and Miller in this. I thought that was kind of cool. Cause she's definitely Team Holden in this, but she thinks of things objectively and not subjectively, which is a nice way to think of things in life. Um, a lot of it in the show. And another, okay, I'm moving on to a different subject here. A lot of this book's themes are like what it means to be human in an era of post-technology. They say post-technology, post-human, technology that's post-human. Makes you really value your relationships with other people, because that's what makes you human. I think that's a point the book's trying to make, and I think the book makes that point really well between Holden and Naomi, Milo in his past, and Milo and Julie, trying to find Julie. So later they find out that all these people that are test subjects that really are like lifeless beings on a ship, and the ship has this. Well, they think the ship has this alien like virus that is going to infect the population of Earth because they're trying to push it in the Earth. That's what they think at this time. And it kind of hit home for me, because of the coronavirus, a virus infecting the entire planet. I don't know. I feel like I'm reaching, but maybe everything makes me think of coronavirus at the moment. Who knows? Um, you know, but they later find out that it wasn't a virus protecting Earth. It's that Julie can't. She became the ship. Somehow her mind was kind of uploaded to the ship, and she's just trying to get back to him to Earth. Which, it's really sad and depressing, but also kind of emotional and, stuff that hasn't, except for Firefly, when River made that guy think she was the ship, it kind of reminded me of that a bit. But this time they really went through with it and did it. Instead of with Firefly, it was more of like a trick, an elaborate trick. But with this, they actually went through with it, which was kind of cool. And they had to have Miller go in and tell her, you can't go to Earth. You're not human anymore. You're gonna kill everybody. And he convinced her to go to Venus. And he was ready to sacrifice himself for chapters. The whole book, he was basically suicidal, like I said. And he found his perfect way to go out with a blaze of glory, even though hopefully, maybe his view might be obstructed by Fred Johnson in the media, which sucks, but it happens in real life, which is kind of cool how a sci-fi story set hundreds of years in the future could connect to real life events and fake media and things. Um, and in terms of Miller's internal characteristics, he never stopped searching for Julie, and he finally finds her before he dies. So he dies with so many goals accomplished in his life. He found Julie. He got to see her. He got to meet her one last time. One time, I guess. He saved the entire population of Earth, and he just, he's a hero, which is what he's always wanted to be. But he spent so much time focusing on the little things and not really contributing much to society. Um, but he finally fulfills what he's always wanted to do. I think that's really nice. Um, so yeah, I think his death and how he chose to die. He's always been wanting to die for different reasons. I think he died for the right reasons. He was searching for that the entire book. He finally gets that. So all in all, I give this novel uh, probably a B plus or an A minus. I really, really like this, and yeah, I am definitely going to read book two and probably all the other books and short stories sometime in the future. I have it on hold now, so it might take a couple weeks for the person before me to read it, but I liked it a lot. Um, I post videos every Sunday. Please like and subscribe. Um, yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much it. Have a nice day, everybody. Stay safe. Peace.